I'm back again with another review. What are the chances of that? This time I'm reviewing Ormonde Jayne's Champaca. This is a London perfumery whose shop is really hard to find, by the way. If you ever come to London and you want to try their stuff, I had to have Google Maps out and everything, but I was really excited to go there. And they were generous with their samples and stuff, so it's a really nice store. It's very small and quaint, but the people there are really knowledgeable, so just a little bit of a shout out to Ormonde Jayne, representing for London. I happen to have their Discovery pack, and this is the second review of theirs that I've done. I've actually used a few of them up before I decided to make a review channel, which is a bit annoying because I'd like to have kind of reviewed them all, but yeah, today I'm doing Champaca, and I have, which is really cute actually. Look, it opens like this, if it doesn't fall out everywhere, but I'm going to do it wrong. There you go. Oh, they've fallen out. So you have the samples in that side, all over the floor, and there's a book here describing kind of what each one is. It's really nice when you want to get a taste of what a company's about, you know, just to try lots of stuff. I've got 6 left, so I will review them all at some point. But anyway, on to this review. Champaca. So, I'm just crashing my samples over the place and smashing them on the floor. No, not really. So anyway, this is a floral fragrance. If you don't know about Champaca already, it's a flower that is, I'm not sure if it comes from India, but I think it's quite highly revered there. Came out in 2002. Yeah, the notes are really interesting. I mean, this is one of those fragrances where I think I've kind of set myself up for a disappointment because I loved the sound of what was in it, and then, I hate to say it, but I'm just slightly underwhelmed by the fragrance itself. I've tried a few of the other ones and they were much better. There's still a few that I've not even tried yet, so that's quite exciting to me. I always like to smell something new for the first time. But anyway, I'll go through with you what's in it, as usual. So the top notes are bamboo. Interesting. Pink pepper, which I've smelt before in a Black Phoenix fragrance, and it's really, really distinct, but it's also really, really hard to describe. According to Fragrantica, it is actually a pepper berry as opposed to being a seed. So, and it's supposed to have kind of rosy tones. I don't know about that, but anyway. And then you've got orange blossom in the top. The heart notes are basmati rice or basmati rice. Rice is always a really interesting note in a fragrance. I've got Love by Chloe, and that has rice in it. As you can imagine, the smell of rice when you cook it, in Love, Chloe especially, it gives that kind of, I think rice kind of smells a little bit creamy but dry. I don't know. Then you've got freesia, and then you've got the obvious one, Champaca, which is what this fragrance is based around. It's a flower. It's supposed to kind of smell a little bit like tea and a little bit leafy, which I find weird as well because I've got another Black Phoenix fragrance that had this as a main note, and I thought before I smelt this that Champaca was going to be a very incensey, exotic flower, and obviously Ormonde Jayne, it's a niche brand, so they use a lot of naturals, and this is actually called Champaca, so I think I've got a better feel for what it actually smells like now, which is that kind of like tea. And then the base notes are musk, tea, and then myrrh. So you've got, like, you know, myrrh is quite heavy, resinous kind of smelling note. Tea is very light. I find it unusual that tea is in the bottom, and then musk is musk. Everyone knows what musk is, I hope. So yeah, so what does it smell like? Just let it dry a little bit. I haven't got the bottle of this, as you showed you, they're all samples, they're all just kind of testers, but they're nice. I love samples that have sprays on, because you actually get to spritz it on yourself rather than apply with a wand or go like that. You actually get an even wearing, and I've worn this for kind of 2 or 3 times now, so I like to get a kind of good feel of it before I start blabbing on about it. So this one, the opening is the most interesting part of it, I think. It smells kind of green like. I would say it's spicy. The pink pepper is spicy, but it's not the same as black pepper. It's completely different. It's a more subdued spice. And this smells kind of floral spicy in the way that carnation is spicy. Have you ever smelled carnation? It's a flower, but it does have this kind of natural spice to it, and this feels like that. It's like a very light tea smelling fragrance with a kind of spicy floral going on, and I think that's what the Champaca is. Champaca is supposed to smell leafy and like tea, and the pink pepper's just given it this little bit of extra. I'd probably go so far as to say invigorating. It's more invigorating than anything else. It's got a little bit of va-va-voom to it in the way of it being fresh and wakes up your senses, but it's got no oomph in the way that it's got any depth or anything that carries it along quite far. It just seems to fade out and peter out too quickly. But yeah, invigorating and fresh, definitely. I do think that it kind of almost is veering towards masculine, if anything. It's not one of those immediately feminine smells, and it's not immediately obviously floral to me. Yes, it is floral, but the pink pepper is so apparent in this, and it does give it just that little bit of spice, and there's greenery as well. So it is really interesting, that opening. I do like it. I just wish that it stayed like that a lot longer, which unfortunately it doesn't. And that's going to be my negative thing about this perfume. It's within about an hour it goes completely close to the skin. Here I can barely smell it. It smells kind of sometimes I say, when I smell it really close, sometimes I say that fragrances, when they have certain flowers in them, they can smell like somebody has taken lots of petals and then trodden them into a puddle, and it's like a muddy kind of really natural smelling petal. It's like if you picked a piece of blossom off of a tree and went like that. This has that to it when I smell it here, but here I can barely smell it. It's a shame really, because it was kind of interesting at the beginning, and then that's really disappointing, especially because it's a niche brand and they use really expensive ingredients. But you know, not every fragrance is supposed to be a powerhouse, and that's probably where I'm a little bit, I shouldn't judge in that way, because not everybody likes their fragrances like me, which I like to have really strong perfumes, but some people like subdued things. This is fresh. It's just that little bit spicy and green, and it does stay close to the skin. It's not, I'm just underwhelmed by it, I think. I don't know, I think I was expecting a lot more, having the preconceived notion of what Champaca was in the Black Phoenix perfume that I smelled, and what I smell is just like a kind of slightly spicy tea fragrance that doesn't make me go, oh, I need to go and buy this right now. So of the ones that I've tried of Ormonde Jayne, unfortunately this is not one of the best, but that's just my opinion. I mean, you personally, whoever you are watching this, might like your fragrances like that, and if you do, maybe try it out if you ever come to London and you can find the shop. Yeah, it's supposed to have myrrh in the base, and I'm just, no, I can't even smell it. I don't think, so I have to really, really smell it to actually get anything out of it. But I guess maybe a tiny bit of myrrh, but I reckon they've just put a tinge of myrrh in it just to, you know, carry out the base a little bit, but it's so much better there. Anyway, that's my review of Ormonde Jayne's Champaca. The next review I'm going to do is going to be by request. It's Dolce & Gabbana's Sicily, and that is by Sarah W. Spain. Sarah or Spain, I'll read it as. Somebody that's been talking to me on Fragrantica very interestingly recently. So Sarah, I'll be doing that one for you next, so look out for it. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye bye.